And we're back. Welcome to the North American League of Legends Finals.
And I'll tell you what, Demon, something tells me that today is going to be pure ownage.
Yeah!
How'd you like to be a professional gamer? The paychecks, the world travel, the Twitter followers.
$1 million!
Okay, so who wants to be on the best team? Anyone here like winning and money?
Church here, and welcome to the Game Grinder. I'd like to do something a little bit more unique today and do a movie review. And this is video game related, so it totally fits. And I, as of last night, when I recorded this video anyways, I went to the premiere of the Pure Pwnage, the movie. So in case you don't know what Pure Pwnage is, basically it is a web show, like one of the first like video game related web shows really ever. Started in 2004, followed the exploits of Jeremy the Ownerer and his brother Kyle, and it included other notable characters like FPS Doug, there's Taji and Dave, and they did the web show for a few years, and I think there's 18 episodes, and eventually one of the cast members passed, so they kind of ended the web show, and then eventually they were picked up by the Canadian television network and got a actual TV series. They only managed to get one season, unfortunately, but after that, then things kind of went quiet. Everybody kind of went their own way. And in 2012, they actually announced that they wanted to crowdfund a movie. So they initially were looking for $75,000 to do the movie, and they ended up raising $211,000, I think, with a lot of fan support, which is amazing. And the film had finally finished, and over the last week and through the rest of the week, they are flying all over the place and doing premieres. They started out in Canada, that's where everybody's from, and last night was their showing in Minnesota. It's right next to Minneapolis, a place called Columbia Heights, at the Heights Theater, which is a art house theater that usually shows more like independent films and everything.
I need 3 more people that like money and winning.
Jeremy. He must be excited for the big game.
So pow!
2-0 in the lead, just one step away from the victory. This right here is history in the making.
I do the shot calling. No one calls engaged but me.
It was a clean ace.
And I have to burn my flash. Can I get my flash back? You got some extra flashes around here?
Yeah, so I gotta say that the movie was absolutely fantastic. If you are familiar with the web show at all, the movie pretty much continues off where the web series left off. It captured all the same spirit. It is pretty much what I hoped for, and kind of gave everybody a little bit of closure. I'm not sure if they plan on doing any continuation of the series or anything after this, but it leaves everything off at a really nice place. And I gotta say, so just kind of go through a little bit of the movie. So it's basically, years later, everybody's, off doing their own things. The main characters had, gotten real jobs and everything, and basically Kyle, the guy who does all the filming on the show, he's always behind the camera, because it's done in almost like a documentary style, decides that he wants to make a Pure Pwnage movie. So he, gets Jeremy back and gets Doug back, and, it's just, following the new adventure pretty much. They managed to get Joel, who played FPS Doug, back. Miranda, who played Taji, she's back, and even Dave makes a small appearance, which I thought was really awesome. So, just kind of, The web show was well, one thing that made it really great is that it was actually like really legitimate. It wasn't just, you know, some Joe Schmoes trying to make a show about video games. They actually were gamers. Jarrett Kale, who plays Jeremy, actually at the time was pretty big into StarCraft and Command and Conquer 0 Hour. And the web show kind of started off, you know, following like some RTS scene. When they bring in FPS Doug, it brought in Counter-Strike, and then eventually moved into like World of Warcraft and some other things. And the movie kind of hits off on the League of Legends phenomenon, and it actually ends up going, you know, to a big tournament in Poland, which was pretty cool.
Try another game, you know. Why not an FPS? Thanks, Steve.
So again, I thought the film itself was great. It looked fantastic. Like Kyle, Jeff Lapierre, really stepped up his game. You know, he has background in film. He went to film school, as far as I know, and the movie looks great. I mean, it looks as good as any other, you know, big budget movie. All the acting was great. All the jokes were there. Yeah, it's just all around. I really enjoyed it. If you are familiar with the series, I would highly recommend you checking out the movie. And I know I'm kind of jumping all over the place, but one thing to kind of keep in mind with the show is that, especially if you were involved in any online game competitive scene stuff in the mid-2000s, there's a good chance you heard about the show, but I would suspect at this point that a lot of people might not be familiar with it. So at the same time, I'm going to be making a playlist for my channel. So if you go into my channel, I will make a playlist for the Pure Pwnage, the show, and really encourage you to check it out. It's really funny. Sure, some of the topics are not really relevant today, but it's still, you know, still great humor. It's still about video games. And yeah, so I was very satisfied. And actually, one of the friends that I went and saw the film with, she actually had a really good view on how the movie turned out. So just for example, she used Dumb and Dumber in Dumber and Dumber 2.
They decided to make a second one, right? And it was okay. It wasn't great, but it was okay.
Yep.
So I guess I kind of worry because like movies like that or TV shows or whatever, things that decide to wait that long to do a sequel or for whatever reason, they tend to be like too nostalgic, I guess. Like they try and push the past so much that it becomes just like, oh, okay, come on, new material. But it was nice in the movie that it had the nostalgia there because they brought up some old things, but there was so much new content on top of it. You know, it wasn't overbearing.
Definitely.
If that made
a lot of little things thrown in. I was like, I remember that.
Yeah, little things like at the end when he's like, oh, like Scorsese, you know, it's like I remember them talking about it all the time in the show, you know.
You know, they made some nods to the original show, but they weren't like, oh, remember this? Ooh, remember this? And I thought it was really great where the fans of the show could be like, oh yeah, and those jokes and that gag and stuff, which was a really great, you know, kind of review that she had, and really sums up kind of the overall feeling of the movie, where it was just handled so well.
oh, look at me. I'm so pro. I play all the games.
Then what was really great is that Jarrett Kale, who plays Jeremy, and Jeff Lapierre, who plays Kyle, are actually touring with the movie at each showing. So They actually were present, met people as they came into the theater. They introduced themselves beforehand, talked a little bit about it, and afterwards, which was really awesome, they went nearby. There was a bar where we did a meet and greet, hangout, after party thing, which was a lot of fun. Even just being able to hang out with friends at a place and having some drinks is great, but then having what I consider celebrities being present and being able to take pictures with them and get autographs and talk to them and hear some of their thoughts on things and kind of share some of our thoughts on things is a fantastic experience, because Hollywood actors and whatnot, I could really give two shits about any of those people. They're just doing a job, where these are people who are passionate about what they do, and yeah, sure, they've made careers out of making their shows and whatnot, and that is fantastic because they get to do what they love. But to have this series and eventually everybody kind of moves on, and come back to that and bring it back to life and do it so well is just it's a great thing. And I would like to, of course, thank those guys for all the years of fantastic entertainment.
QRWE, pop that fish.
No, because it's on you. GG!
And yeah, so it was just overall a great time. And of course, I'm gonna have some trailer stuff here. I'm gonna be showing some pictures if I haven't already. And I will have links in the description to the trailer and to their website. And also, again, I really encourage you to check out the original web show, because it is fantastic. Keep in mind that it is a little dated as far as internet culture goes, so there's a little slang thrown in there that isn't necessarily acceptable stuff anymore, but at the time that was very prevalent. It was very legit, very real for internet culture, especially in the competitive scene. So yeah, so I just kind of wanted to talk about the movie real quick, and let those who might not have known about it get the opportunity to check it out when it comes out. Like I said, they're still touring with the movie, so it's not available to rent or buy just yet, but sit tight and it will be coming soon. But in the meantime, you can check out the web show, even watch the TV show, and it is, I would hope everybody would enjoy it. I guess if you're really not into gaming culture, or maybe the competitive gaming culture of the mid-2000s, then I could see, maybe it's not for everyone, but, give it a shot. Definitely check out, the first, 4 or 5 episodes. The first one introduces everybody. The second one is really funny and kind of gets some public opinion on gamers. And kind of the big episode that set everybody off and got everybody really going into the show was the FPS Doug episode, because Counter-Strike was the big thing at the time. And then, like I said, eventually it gets into other games and World of Warcraft, and just I could talk about this for hours and keep going in circles and whatnot. But yeah, so final thoughts on the movie. I loved it. It was exactly what I was looking for out of a Pure Pwnage movie, and I hope you get the chance to check it out and enjoy it. And yeah, so that's about it, and I will see you next time on the Game Grinder.
Sometimes, even though people might kind of suck, you gotta look past the suck. You can see by the blow, and maybe you'll find the awesome.
Eat a dick.
Kyle, don't put that in the movie.